Well, my name is Jennifer DeSantis, and I call myself a dreamer, a creator, a giver, and a hugger. I create artwork in mainly a mixed media collage medium, as well as dabble in painting. I also design a line of apparel in which at least 30% of my profits are donated to charity. So those are my passions: creating art, healing, and philanthropy. Well, creating art did start out as a hobby. It really started out more than as a hobby. It started out as self-therapy. It started out as a means of releasing energy and healing, which is the purpose of creating art to me. And it still remains as such. I started selling artwork on Facebook, and I thought, why not sell it? Isn't it everyone's dream to be self-sustainable, to do what one loves for a living? Now, I'm nowhere close to making a living solely off of selling my art, but I thoroughly enjoy the interaction, the exchange of the creativity and energy I have put into a piece, and that resonating with someone enough for them to want to purchase something I made with my heart and my soul. So why sell my art? The aforementioned on a deeper level, and also to support my habit. So it is turning into more than a quote-unquote hobby. I think I started thinking of creating art as a potential business as soon as I made my first sale. I got more serious about it in 2011 when I opened my Etsy shop. So creating art as a business also continues to perpetually evolve as I market my artwork on home decor and apparel, prints, and things of that nature. It really just kind of started to expand and grow as living things do when you nurture them. So I look at it like that. I look at it, the transition from quote-unquote hobby to sort of a business as the art evolved into different mediums and things like that. If I could only keep 5 possessions, what would they be? I'm not super attached to things. The first thing that I would certainly keep by my side is the Holy Bible. I would certainly keep some old family photographs, my wedding album, and if I could, art supplies. Do those count? Those would really be, I guess the 5. The best compliment I've ever received, the one that I can think of was actually very recently at the Wet Paint ATL art show. A young lady that had been through a lot in life told me that she loved the art that I was creating, that it made her feel. And she told me that I inspired her, and she started crying. We really had a moment. We hugged for about a minute, and that really touched me. I think that those are the best compliments, when people tell me that I have inspired them and healed their hurt in some way through my art. That was definitely one that I'll never forget. I'm getting chills right now, as I remember it. Yeah. What I'm most proud of within my life is that I finally gotten my shit together. I feel like I'm a late bloomer. I'm 35 years old, and I've finally attained responsibility. I've attained self-love. I'm continuing to attain true confidence and really take my life seriously, really focus on things that I can do to better my environment, and that includes this entire world in which we live. So through creating collage art over the last 6 years, I've really been strengthened in these attributes, and I'm proud that my family can finally count on me, for advice and for things like that. Because for a long time I needed other people, and I was counting on other people and not really, loving myself as much as I should have, and believing in myself, and now I do, and so my family does too, and that really means the world to me. Man, my least favorite word is easy. I abhor the word bulbous. It's so gross. I just don't like it. I think of like a big, nasty, ugly, giant bulbous nose whenever I hear that word, and it makes me cringe for some reason. And I have nothing against noses, but I do not like that word, bulbous. My favorite word is much harder. I'm quite fond of words, I think, that begin with the letter P in general, with the exception of a few, of course. But the ones that come to mind as being some of my favorites are plethora, parsimonious. Those are probably my 2 first favorite words, definitely. So The Silmarillion is probably my favorite book It's J.R.R. Tolkien's epic novel on the creation and perpetuity of all things Middle-earth related. I'm a kind of a closeted, or not really so closeted, Tolkien nerd. In that book, the mythology, the language, the true escape that it gives you from this reality. Also, the fact that I needed reference books on hand for the 2 months it took me to read. What an experience that was. The most recent book I just finished was The Princess Bride, because that was one of my favorite movies as a child, and I never read the book. Well, the movie is much better than the book. That's all I'll say about that. Well, to keep myself focused and motivated, I used to get really discouraged and down on myself if I wasn't feeling inspired or motivated, and I think, so many of us can relate to that. However, what I've learned over the years is that inspiration and motivation ebb and flow like so many emotional things in life. They're always moving and in motion. So I allow myself to relax, and immerse myself in other activity until the surge, that urge to create manifests itself again, which it always does. So instead of being upset at myself for reading a book or, watching a TV show or a movie or, sometimes doing that throughout a whole entire day, instead of getting hard on myself, I just allow myself to do it because that's my mind and my body telling me that I need to relax, and that I know that the urge to create art will come back, and then I'll just make 6 pieces all at once, and then I'm exhausted again. So also this year, I've definitely started taking better care of my body by stretching and breathing. I love looking at other people's artwork. I'm a part of a lot of different social media groups, particularly on Facebook. Also, Instagram is great for just viewing so much amazing art that's out there, and that's very inspiring. Well, my next in-person show that I have scheduled is August 27th. It's actually right here in Woodstock, Georgia. It's called Art on the Green, and it's an all-day festival. There's a lot of different artists and vendors and live entertainment, and it's always a cool event to do in the community. This will be my 3rd one with them, so I'm really, really looking forward to that. And as far as everything else, I've really been concentrating my efforts online this year. So what I've started doing is every weekend of each month, I host a small online art auction. The Facebook group that the auctions take place is called the Online Bargain Art Auction Group. The purpose on that group is to hold small auctions, so patrons get to know the artists and their art. So I usually feature myself, another administrator, and we feature one artist. So there's usually 3 artists per weekend, and that way, there's not a ton of stuff to scroll through. People can really take time and look at each piece and ask questions and engage with the artist and get to know their style. This group continues to grow globally, which is great. That's the great thing about, social media, is you get to meet people from all over the world that you wouldn't have. So the group is continuing to grow, and now the last weekend of each month, we hold a little bit larger group auction where each artist that has participated up to that point can post pieces, and we've got one of those going on right now because it's the last weekend of the month that I'm talking to you. I believe that everyone should be able to own original art, which is why these are bargain auctions. I hope that this group is going to continue to grow, and I think it will, nice and steadily. And I'm also part of a larger group of wonderful artists in the Facebook group, the Creative Spirit Marketplace, and they have sales every day of the week. They're a lot larger than my little group, but that's what I've been focusing on.